The sizes of single-family homes have gotten bigger over the years, and the size of the building sites are getting smaller. From 1980 to 2014, the median home size for single-family dwellings increased by 50% from 1,600 square feet to 2,400 square feet. However, the median lot size declined by over 20%, from 11,300 to 8,800 square feet. That's smaller than a 60 by 150 lot. Now, the trend towards smaller building lots is driven by affordability, lot shortages, and the need to adapt to changing market dynamics. And developers are finding creative ways to maximize space while meeting the demand. And with the redevelopment of our urban areas becoming more of an emphasis, those residential sites are already small. In 2019, 61% of single-family dwellings sold were on smaller lots. Now, what things do you need to know as a building designer because of these trends? Well, there's a thing called a due diligence report. It's a report of a project site's current conditions and issues that a client will use to determine the probability of success or failure for a proposed project development to be completed. It doesn't guarantee that the project will be financially profitable, but it can be successfully constructed. There are the obvious things to be aware of, such as setbacks, utilities, lot coverage, pervious area, height limitations, etc. But there's one thing that some zoning departments and HOA covenants are beginning to sneak in that might be a silent site plan killer. And when it comes to researching the setbacks, dig a little deeper. For decades, there have been exemptions allowing for appurtenances to encroach. For example, bay windows, fireplaces, and roof overhangs. Some of these things could typically extend into a setback 18, 24, 30 inches in many areas. But if you're building on a small lot with, let's say, a 5-foot side setback, well, fire codes enter into the equation. Now, based on the distance to the property line, overhangs and appurtenances may have to be set back the same distance as the structure. And then there's the one not so silent site plan killer, meaning its noise is commonly the cause of the setback requirement, which is an AC condenser. Now, even if you're designing a house for an oversized lot, you'll want to know this new element in site planning: setback requirements for mechanical equipment. According to this document from 4 years ago, the city of Los Altos, California began using decibel levels to establish the setback for the HVAC units. In this case, lot size doesn't matter. If your clients want to push the house as close as possible to one side, it could be an issue. Now, I discovered the concept when the city of West Palm Beach, Florida rejected a house that I had designed. There, mechanical equipment may not project more than 4 feet into a setback. The lot was 50 by 105, and the house was set to all 4 setbacks on the dot in every direction. Now, 4 feet is usually adequate for most modern AC units. The problem was, it wasn't shown on the site plan. Now, keeping in mind that most units come with a required distance they need to set from the building, I researched the manufacturer's specs and dimensioned the unit on the plan. Recently, I learned that in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, HVAC units can approach more than 50% of the side yard setback. They make it easy. This colorful image got my attention right off the bat. I know, this is probably not an issue for you, and I know that you can solve these problems when they come up. My point is to be aware that you might be asked more often to do so. To help with this, I've started a due diligence checklist, and I placed it in the Designer Docs library. If you're a member and you have access to the Designer Docs, please set aside a few minutes to check it out and email the A-team with any suggestions. I'm sure we've missed something, and planning departments are always coming up with something new. That reminds me of every time I check out at a store. They ask if I found everything okay. It makes me wonder, is there something they're hiding? If you still need to get access to the Designer Docs, we're not hiding it. Go to the AIBD.org/store to set up the link. It's included with your membership. Thanks for watching this entire video and have a triumphant week.